Pride Month! I was gonna get a streamer and like blow confetti, but my car is broken, so my car is being repaired, so I couldn't drive to go get a streamer. But I have a multitude of rainbows, so it's fine. My fan is on. The UK is very hot, and I am very hot. I get very hot. I also don't have my glasses on because I have a multitude of rainbows and glitter, and glasses will hinder that, so I can't see very well. But we're gonna roll with it. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. I am going to be making a video every day this month, as I tried to do every Pride Month. I tried to make all my videos LGBTQIA+ themed. I am often hindered by health reasons, but this month I'm determined to do it because I'm actually having surgery at the start of July, which means that I probably will not make there'll probably be like 1 or 2 videos in July because recovery is not going to be very fun. So I want to try and make a video every day this month to make content, because I'll be gone for a little bit, and you know, the last 2 weeks of this month I have to go into isolation anyway, so why not make videos? Super fun. I'm going to bulk film a few of these today, so if I look the same, that's why. I've turned my fan down to like the lowest setting, but yeah, hello, grab a drink. We're gonna talk about the gay shit. So today is going to be my Pride Month TBR. I want to share some amazing books with you guys, but I did just want to do a little message at the start to remind people about why we have Pride, and the reason why it is in June, for those that may not know, is because June is the month of the Stonewall riots. The first Stonewall riot happened in 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, and it was a police raid of the Stonewall Inn which turned quickly into a riot, and the first Pride became a protest. There was then days of protest and people standing up for the LGBTQIA+ community, because at that time there were still so many laws against the community and so many laws which didn't protect the community. There were so many people there that started it, and I think obviously Pride has become such a big thing, it's become this big celebration, this party, but I think it's really important to remember why it started and the fact that the first Pride was a riot. That's what it was. They were protests, they were fighting for LGBTQIA+ rights, which is super important. It is actually so important to remember as well that the 2 of the key people that were there that started it, that were the huge activists, were Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who were actually 2 trans women of colour that stood and fought. We also have Brenda Howard, who was a bisexual woman who was part of the group of people that coined the word Pride, and what started and kick-started Pride being every year since. And these amazing people and activists that stood there and fought for those rights and continue to fight and led generations to fight for rights. I think it's really important to remember that, and for all of the cishet people who are there, like, why do they get a whole month? Why is it a whole month? You get a whole year, babe. A whole year. You get a whole year, and you are not discriminated against, attacked, not protected in certain work and life situations, murdered because of your sexuality, babe. You're not. You never have to worry about that. You never have to worry about that, okay? And it started as a riot because cishet people and the world decided that LGBTQIA+ people didn't deserve the same basic rights, and in 72 countries it's still actually just illegal to exist and be queer. So next time you want to complain about Pride Month being a whole month, check your privilege, please, and realise that there's still so much work to be done. There's my little thing about why Pride is still important, so important, needs to continue to happen, need to continue to be using our voices and platforms and uplifting queer voices. Without further ado, I'm going to do that this month, and we're going to get into my Pride Month TBR. I have hair stuck in my lip gloss. Okay, so the first book on my TBR is Loveless by Alice Osman, and We know my story with Alice Osman in that I have never read an Alice Osman book, and everybody that tells me all the time to read Alice Osman book. Finally got Loveless. It's the one that I wanted to read first. I'm super excited about it. Obviously gonna take the chance to read it this month because it's very fitting. And it is about Georgia, who has never been in love, never kissed anybody, and she is going to university and she thinks that she'll find someone there. She's in love with like fanfic and relationships and fictional relationships, which, you know, like, can relate, am I right? But when she's at university, she doesn't have the experience she thought she was going to have, and she starts to hear words like asexuality and aromanticism and starts to wonder if that is something that applies to her. I think it's really cool to see it being set at university. I really like exploration stories set at university because I feel like people kind of think that happens when you're a teenager, and then when you're at uni it's all figured out, when actually quite a lot of self-exploration happens at university. And I also absolutely love the fact that it is an exploration of aromanticism and asexuality, because that is something which is not seen enough. Asexuality is not seen nowhere near enough, but it's seen a tiny, like a smidgen bit more than aromanticism. I'm so excited that this book is going to explore both of them, and I'm super excited to delve into it during this month and share my thoughts with you guys, because I have my first Alice Osman book, which finally, hey, it's been a long time coming, but what a most perfect month to read Loveless in. Because here's another PSA for you guys: asexual people, aromantic people, ace people, they belong at Pride too. It is belong at Pride too, also part of the alphabet gang, okay? So anyone that doesn't think that, I'd just like to tell you now, you're wrong. That was more aggressive than I intended, but also it's true. Then I am going to read Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating by Adi Bejagada, and I am so excited to read this book. I am so excited to read this book. This is obviously a fake dating, my favourite trope. Flawless trope, absolutely A+, flawless trope. It focuses on Honey, who is very easygoing and popular, and then she comes out as bisexual and her friends don't believe her. Then we also have Issue, who is an overachiever. She has a lot to prove and she really wants to be head girl, and these circumstances in their life lead them to pretend to be dating. We know how the fake dating trope goes. Literally says pretend to be dating even though they hardly know each other and definitely don't like each other, but as they get closer things get messy. Can two Bengali girls find happily ever after even when the odds are stacked against them? It's just everything I love. It's just every trope. It's just every trope that I love. I'm super excited to read this book. It's set in Ireland, which there is not enough books set in Ireland in my opinion, so absolutely buzzed to be reading this month. This is a new release. I got it recently and I just honestly cannot wait to dive into it. It's just everything I want in life. Then I'm going to read Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and I literally didn't realise my Waterstones had this, but saw it the other day. The tagline, the little like quote on the front by Charles Stross, who I assume is another author, is lesbian necromancers explore the haunted gothic palace in space. As the emperor needs necromancers, the ninth necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword, some dirty magazines, and no more time for undead nonsense. And that's all I know about this. It is a trilogy, I believe. It sounds phenomenal. I mean, it's a floppy book, which we absolutely adore. And it says the most fun you'll ever have with a skeleton. What else do you need in a novel other than everything that I've just described? So absolutely buzzed to be reading Gideon the Ninth this month. I think it's going to be wonderful. Genuinely so excited. I think this might be what I kick the month off with. Let's see. Then I'm going to read Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. I spoke about this in my most recent book haul, if you guys saw that. Please look at this UK edition, it's absolutely gorgeous. And this focuses on Felix, who has never been in love. He really wants to know like what that's like and why it's so easy for everybody, and he's also struggling with the fact that even though he's proud of who he is, he's kind of really struggling with like, does he feel like he's marginalisation too many, black, queer and trans? Is that gonna like hinder his ability to fall in love and get his happily ever after? And then an anonymous student starts sending him transphobic messages, dead naming him and pictures of him before he transitioned, and then when that happens Felix comes up with a plan for revenge, but doesn't factor in that plan ending up being some kind of little love triangle situation. So I'm very intrigued by this. I am super excited to read this book. I have heard nothing but good things about it. I've been told about it for ages. When I saw they had the UK editions in, I bought it immediately, and honestly, like, I'm so excited for this book. I haven't been this excited for a book in so long, so I'm so buzzed to read Felix Ever After, finally. Then I have I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva, and this is also a book I've wanted to read for a very long time, and this focuses on Ben, who comes out as non-binary to their parents, and they are kicked out of their house because of that, and how to move in with their estranged sister and her husband, who they don't really know that well. Ben is struggling with anxiety. They come out to Hannah, their therapist, and also is trying to just deal with being at a new school, but trying to keep a low profile for the final half of senior year. Kind of goes a little bit askew when Ben meets Nathan, who kind of takes Ben under his wing, and it is everything from there. I am so excited to read this. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Like, I've just, so many people have told me it's phenomenal. It's one of my friends' favourite book, or one of their favourite books, so I am genuinely so buzzed to read it. I've just heard nothing but good things. There is not enough non-binary representation in books, and there needs to be more, and I believe this is own voices, so I'm super excited to read it. Then we have some books on my Kindle. First we have The Falling in Love Montage by Ciara Smith. This is a book I'm going to be buddy reading with my friend this month, which I'm super excited about, and I have literally been, all I know about this is it's two girls embark on a series of like montage-worthy dates, and it's essentially a lesbian rom-com, which, I mean, I love a rom-com, love a book, love lesbians. Why would... So excited to read this book. I've had it on my Kindle for a while, and wanted to dive into it. I've been waiting. Me and my friend have said we were going to buddy read it a while ago, so we decided obviously this month would be a wonderful month to read The Falling in Love Montage. So I'm absolutely buzzed. I think it's going to be such a fun read, and I cannot wait. The final book in this is one of my most anticipated reads of 2021, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Casey McQuiston is the author of Red, White and Royal Blue, which is one of my favourite books ever. I absolutely adore Red, White and Royal Blue, and One Last Stop is one that I've been eagerly anticipating. I do not have a physical copy yet. I bought it on my Kindle at midnight, so I'm super excited to read it. It came out today. Today is its release date, June 1st, which is super exciting. Happy Pride Month to all of us. All I know about this is like it's gay and set in New York, like genuinely, again, two of my favourite things. So I'm going to read the description just so I can explain what it properly is. I just saw that Casey McQuiston had a new book, saw a brief summary of it, and was like, I need that, and I've been buzzed about it since last year, so there we go. But for cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right, that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train, Jane, dazzling, charming, mysterious, impossible Jane. Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smile, showing up in a leather jacket to save August's day where she needed it most. August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there is one problem. Jane doesn't look like just an old school punk rocker. She's literally displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help her. Maybe time to start believing in some things after all. Casey McQuiston's One Last Stop is a magical, sexy, big-hearted romance where the impossible becomes possible as August does everything in her power to save the girl lost in time. I love Casey McQuiston's writing. I cannot wait to read this book. Like, I genuinely am so excited to delve into that book and finally read it after all these months of waiting and hearing good things because of like arcs and stuff. So cannot wait. Yes, that is my TBR for the month of June. All of the books are hella gay, which we absolutely love. I thought that I would share it with you in case you guys hadn't read any of these and weren't aware of them. I'd also love to know your opinions of these books if you have read them, but just don't spoil me because I would obviously not want to be spoiled going into them, but I would love to know your opinions, and I'd also love to know what you guys are reading this month as well. Obviously I might read other books, but I didn't want to give myself too much of a of a stack, but hopefully I can get through all of these because I'm so excited for every single one of them. If you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. And as usual, all the links to my other social medias and also my podcast, because I have a Stranger Things podcast that I co-host with my friend Emily. It's called Hawkins Do You Copy, and we talk about all things Stranger Things. So if you want to come and check that out, that's in the description as well, and come follow me on all social medias if you want to go shit. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.